trapping ass, 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 hold up, trapping ass, 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 trapping ass. Hold up. I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I rock time for. I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I rock time for. I rock time for. I rock time for. Time for clap 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 clap. Hold up. Clap for a nigga with his rapping ass. Blow a stack for your niggas with your trapping ass. Clap for a nigga with his rapping ass. Blow a stack for your niggas with your trapping ass. Trapping ass, 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 hold up. Trapping ass, 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 trapping ass. Hold up. I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I rock time for. I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I'll pop Molly, I rock time for. I rock time for. I rock time for. Time for clap 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 clap. Hold up.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. And tonight we're going to talk about Smackdown. What'd you think about the show?
The show was decent. Wasn't crazy about the main event, and honestly, everything else was good, but the main event to me.
Well, let's talk about how the show kicked off. We had a promo segment with Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Jeff Cobb, who now goes by JC Mateo. So we get a promo in front of a live audience with Solo starting out talking about how he helped Jacob Fatu retain his United States Championship thanks to JC Mateo interfering in the match and basically helping Jacob Fatu win. But you can see on Jacob Fatu's face that he don't really agree with that. And also he probably feels like he didn't need Solo's help in the first place. So there's like a little they're conflicted. Like Solo's trying to go about doing everything his way and all the while not letting Jacob Fatu in on whatever the plan is to get the job done. So, did you like this segment?
Yes and no. What only thing I didn't like about a segment is when Solo randomly asked Jacob, "What's that thing you used to say to me?" The whole "I love you, Solo." So when he asked Jacob, "What's the thing you used to say to me?" Jacob said it kind of like normal, like "I love you, Solo," and then Solo talking about, "Nah, that ain't how you used to say it." But to me, it's like, okay, I get it. You're trying to say that in a way, Jacob Fatu changed, but at the same time, he said when you was gone for almost a month after not winning the, Uber follow from Roman Reigns, he's gonna have to be the one to step up. So it's like he's acting more of a leader than your little enforcer now. But I feel like Solo is actually. I hate that they're making Solo kind of jealous of Jacob Fatu, and it's like, how many times we're gonna keep seeing the same old, same old? Okay, rivalry, siblings. All right, jealousy here. All right, let's betray there. Like, come on, can we finally make a strong, like, I don't want to say just bloodline, but a fraction that actually will stay together for a long time instead of just putting them in a group just to push somebody else and then like do the same old, same old. Like, I like with Jacob. I like with Solo. We can just I think the other one that's injured, the he
Tonga
keep yeah,
Loa and
Tongalo.
Tamatonga.
If we could take out Tomatonga and keep JC
No, we can
Matsu.
we can keep Tamatonga, take out Tonga Loa.
That's I mean Tongaloa.
Yeah,
But
because Tonga Loa's never really done anything
no,
significant. In
no.
fact, when he arrived, Tamatonga kind of it's like he went from this savage that he's really dangerous. Paul Heyman was afraid
Exactly.
of him to
Yes.
he's just like another guy now.
Yeah, they water him down a lot. It's now he's doing I'm like, dude, this guy's about 40 something. Why are y'all having walking around like an idiot saying yeah? What is this? Like, I don't know. But of course, during that segment, we get LA Knight also interfered, trying to get his little lick in, attacking JC
Well,
Mateo.
hold on. Let's okay, so during this segment, like you already pointed out, Solo wants Jacob Fatu to basically it's like he wants him to acknowledge him for
That's what
helping
I
him
would
win
thought.
that or
Right.
to retain the United States Championship. He wants Jacob Fatu to basically acknowledge that he helped him retain the United States Championship, and he wants him to acknowledge him in a way by saying, "I love you, Solo," but he wants him
Mm-hmm.
to say it loud and crazy like he used to. And
Right.
Jacob starts talking, he says, "I love you, Solo." It's like real just no enthusiasm
Mm-mm.
whatsoever, right? So then you get Solo egging him on like, come on, man, that ain't how you used to say it. Say it how you used to say it. Like Solo is almost comedic at this point,
Right.
right? And I honestly, I kind of like when Solo is able to act a little bit more, like and just show a little bit more personality instead of just like the stares and just being quiet and stuff like that, just the facials. Like right here, he's just being an antagonizer. He's just instigating the whole situation. And he knows Jacob is getting the love from the crowd. You
Yep.
know, he's the one wearing gold because Jacob called his shot. Boom. And he
Yep.
won the United States Championship, defended it, and he was doing pretty good without Solo getting involved in the match at Backlash. And for Solo to, you know, try and put him on the spot and almost embarrass him, Jacob ain't having none of that.
No.
So Jacob starts saying his I'm all gas, no brakes with it, and all that stuff, right? And then when he gets to yada I mean, and Solo's like, yeah, we know what you mean.
Everybody knows what he
Yeah,
means.
everybody knows
Exactly.
what you mean.
And that's when
Yeah.
he brings up the whole, you remember what you used to say to me? But
Yeah.
it's like, I get it's a long drag storyline, but at the same time, it's so predictable. It's not even like really drawing my attention. I just can't wait for this. Like, I don't know. I'm just not really
They're
into
moving
this
at a
storyline.
snail's pace.
Yeah, and it's like we all
Yeah.
know what y'all trying to do. So it's like just rip the band-aid, move on. Or are y'all actually gonna keep them as a faction instead of trying to do the same old of breaking them up and everything? It's like how many times we're gonna keep saying the same thing? We got Jay and Jimmy, you know, you got Sammy doing it. It's like, okay, I'll even throw Paul Heyman in there, you know, because at this point Roman is by himself, if you think about it. It's like, okay,
Roman's on vacation by himself.
he's gonna stay on vacation. It's just, I don't know. It's a dry storyline in my opinion. I'm over it. I'm tired of seeing it. It's time for something fresh. Are you going to make them a strong faction so they could dominate the WWE, or they're just going to be okay? We're pushing Jacob. He's this unstoppable wrestler, and that also I like Jacob, but that's starting to get stale in my opinion.
Yeah. It's just basically coming across like Wish bloodline.
Yes,
Because like you
it's
can tell that like they're just trying to figure out how to stretch this whole thing out, and it's like, yo, the minute Cody beat Roman, bloodline was over.
oh yeah, most
Like, and
definitely.
that's the authentic bloodline. That's the original bloodline. This version, I don't even know if they're even calling it the bloodline at
Yeah,
this point, but like this is something totally different. Like I don't even know what their goal is really.
I don't even think Triple H know what the goal is. He's just making up the storyline.
And then on top of that, how you gonna have somebody that's not even Samoan in the bloodline?
They ran out of family members.
Like now, the way Bronson Reed, you know, helped out. What was that, Survivor Series?
Yeah,
Okay, like the way he got involved made sense. JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, like, what do we do? Like, I guess that was the only way they could come up with, like, to bring him in to introduce him, but try and make like a big impact when they did introduce him to the WWE audience.
right.
You know, and I don't know. Like, I've seen Jeff Cobb before. To me, it's like if he wants to look legit, first of all, hit the weight room, like hit the gym, like
He's
do
not the
some
only one that
cardio.
needs to
Like
hit.
he
The
needs to
whole
lose.
group,
Yeah, like they're
besides
all
the
out of
the
shape and
yeah,
just fat.
it,
Like get in shape. Like you're in the biggest wrestling promotion in the world.
cause yeah, cause you know he did end up debuting, which we'll get later into that. But yeah, it's like I get it. He's supposed to be this new dominant enforcer for them, but it's like really you just look like someone who's just sitting in the back, catching a couple donuts, whatever. And I'm not really looking at you as a dominant. I would even say Jacob. Like when Jacob first debuted, he looked in great shape. Now it's like he's
Yeah,
moving extra slow. His pants is barely
because he put
fitting.
on some extra
Extra well,
pounds.
exactly. Like he got too comfortable. So they need to work on something. But like I said, the segment was decent. I wasn't really big on the, Solo calling out Jacob about the whole, which how you used to say I love you. So to me, it would have been more kind of interesting if you would have put the whole, remember you used to acknowledge me, which
Right.
I feel like that's what the angle I thought he was gonna go to, but that didn't happen. And then of course during that segment, like I said before, you get LA Knight, coming out to get his licking against JC Mateo. Basically, he threw him out of the ring and gave him some haymakers, and then he took off. And then, of course, you get Nick Aldis out trying to make the match official. I believe he debuted right after that,
Yeah.
which was, I don't know how I feel about that, but that was, we'll have to get into that.
First of
match.
all, this man don't have he don't have wrestling gear.
No.
Okay, he wrestled in a tank top and some pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's clear to see this guy's got like a huge gut. Like he's got like a beer belly. Okay.
I was like, that's kind of messed up. It's like y'all really making him feel like he's a free agent at this
What
point.
what made it even worse is they're talking about his Olympic background and stuff. So immediately we're gonna think of Chad Gable. We're gonna think of Kurt Angle. Okay. These guys are chiseled and they look like legit athletes. This guy, JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, he looks like some mechanic, that like I don't know. He don't have the look. Like he's in a faction that's like for the life of the faction has been like at the top of the card, right? In
Mhm.
important roles in the WWE, but he doesn't really look the part. Like he don't. I get Jacob because Jacob, he at least if he's he's gaining weight and whatever, like
He better start losing, especially in that moonsault.
but he can be aggressive. Like he could cut the promos. Like he's got it right. Like he's top star material. The crowd loves him. He's over. But this guy Jeff Cobb, man, it's like, dude, you gotta you're in the WWE. Like you need to like get in shape. Period. He's like he's short, and then he's got this giant stomach. Like,
we'll just see, because I don't know if he officially signed with WWE, but we'll see what happens after that. But a little bit after that segment, when Nick Aldis came out and making a little match, you have B-Fab, just some very short segment trying to hype up Michin for her Money in the Bank quarterfinals. And again, we asked ourselves how they did not get released. Just saying.
you said B-Fab, right?
Yeah. Oh, don't forget Michin.
Yeah, Michin.
The one
Miss Longback herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets a lot of crowd reaction. The only thing that made the segment a little interesting is Chelsea Green interrupt to remind them that she's the MVP of last year for Money in the Bank.
The woman that basically entertained us since she came back into the company is relegated to interacting with Michin and B-Fab. Who the hell is B-Fab? Oh yeah, she's that one that got fired, or released, sorry, with Hit Row.
Yeah.
Back in the day, right? Got brought back. Has managed to do nothing since she's come back, right?
Not exactly.
Hasn't even taken the time to even learn how to wrestle.
But she been in a few matches.
Oh yeah, and they were all shite.
Yeah,
like they were terrible, okay? Even with Charlotte. Like you could just see how green Michin or B-Fab is. Okay? With Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte was leading the match, okay? And yeah. Like what are we doing? She's a manager at best. Okay.
Well, she's trying to be a wrestler at best.
Yeah.
So of course we have our first match, which is the Money in the Bank qualifier match. Chelsea Green versus Alexa Bliss versus Michin. Alexa Bliss is over, which is crazy. And I wonder is because, we haven't seen her for 2 years. And I don't even know what they're going with her with the storyline because a lot of people I know been talking about her probably joining the Y6, but we'll talk more a little bit of that later on. But of course, we have Michin hitting the super kick on Chelsea Green as soon as the bell rang. Then you have Michin give Alexis Bliss a high five, collarbone, and tied up Michin with a side headbutt takeover. So it seems to me, beginning the match, they try to make Michin look very strong. And I know they're trying to because she really has been struggling with crowd reactions. Of course, she has we don't even know what her gimmick is. What is her character? Exactly.
Yeah.
She
twerks.
Yeah. And that's the
Very
only
bad.
time she getting a crowd reaction.
It looks terrible.
When she does a twerk, I guess she's trying to do a hip attack on the side, whatever she's trying to do.
She calls it the long back attack.
I'm done. Not the long back attack. But, it was honestly.
I will say, not for her entrance, but during the match, her crowd reactions are starting to get a little bit better.
When she does a twerk?
No, not just that. Just in general. They are starting to react a little bit. But the thing is, as long as she's been there.
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly. That's the problem.
This is Zelina Vega levels of crowd reaction during a match. And they're always looking awkward
are we supposed to cheer for her?
We supposed to believe that this little bitty thing can do all that to that big woman right there. We supposed to imagine Zelina Vega going against Nia Jax.
My problem is Zelina Vega is still a champion. She did beat Nia Jax, I believe.
That's what I'm saying.
I think for the first Queen of the some match she beat her for. I was like, what? But we don't want to get too much into that one because every time I think of Zelina, I'm just like, I can't believe they made her a United States champion. This is a joke.
So the point is, there was two opponents in this match that, all right, you got Chelsea Green, Michin, right? You knew they weren't winning.
No.
Okay.
Not with Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss just came back, got the biggest reaction when she came out. Of course she's winning. Okay, she hit it, Twisted Bliss?
Yeah. Which is used to be one of her finishers.
Yeah,
now.
The way the match kind of came to a close is they all hit their finishers back to back to back. They're all so it's Alexa ends up. Who'd she take out the ring? Chelsea.
She took out Michin after Chelsea hit the Unprinter.
And then she hit the Sister Abigail on Chelsea.
Green. Now that's the second time she pinned Chelsea Green now.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's just coming back and just dominating.
Hey, well, nobody would care if she pinned Michin.
No.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a decent match. They got, the crowd was really into it and everything. I give it all three ladies, even Michin, did a great job. I'm not a big fan that Alexa Bliss keep pinning Chelsea Green, especially Chelsea Green was our first and former United States champion. But I get it. They're trying to build Alexa Bliss to do what? Because right now the only
to sell some dolls.
Yeah, because the only title Alexa Bliss should be getting is a mid-card belt. I'm sorry. There's way too many now bigger stars. For goodness sake, Dare to Show, we had Julia just signed with Smackdown. So, yeah, Alexa just stay in the mid-card section.
Man, Julia is also getting the Michin, Zelina Vega, B-Fab reactions. And I'm sure it's just because a lot of people just don't know who she is.
I feel because she did got a good reaction when they showed her in camera a little bit. But, now that she's going to be on SmackDown and she really, honestly, the move for her for SmackDown is actually good because she'll get a little more exposure, like you were saying, and probably get a little more crowd reaction because she actually has a nice gimmick. Her turning heel was the best decision for her to do because now it's really going to see if the crowd, you got to get the crowd to hate you.
Mind you, she turned heel in NXT.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's still heel.
A lot of people that watch the main roster don't watch NXT.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, she did got a good reaction when people saw her on the camera in the main roster.
Yeah, but
Not
what really matters is when she comes to the ring.
Yeah. So
okay.
we'll see what happens.
So,
She's actually supposed to be wrestling next week for the Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Mm.
It's supposed to be her, Charlotte, and some other person I forgot. But moving on from that, we had a little.
No, Selena Vega.
Oh, you see,
Yeah,
like
because
I
I
said,
remember seeing her.
forgot.
Yeah, I remember seeing her, and I was like, "Yo, what is she doing in this match?" Like, we
Yes,
couldn't
'cause
find not one
nobody
other
else.
person.
I don't feel like people with titles should even be in the Money in the Bank qualifier because they can cash in on any time. So it's like, why should they get a chance? You already have a belt. But yeah, honestly, take out Zelina. But it should be a great triple threat match next week with Julia, Charlotte Flair. I don't want to say Zelina because right now I'm not a big Zelina fan. I don't get the hype. She's not a believable champion. She honestly should just stay as a manager, but she always wanted to be a wrestler. So here we are.
Look, when it comes to Money in the Bank, why isn't like some of the top ladies that we've been seeing on screen for like the past year or whatever, like why aren't they in Money in the Bank? Your Naomi,
Yeah.
Bianca.
Hey,
You telling me Bianca don't want it?
Well, remember Bianca's injured right now.
Okay, well, all right, all right. You get a pass on that one with like a thumb injury or something, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. However long that's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi,
well, they might make her be a qualified match. Not
Nia
next week.
Jax.
Nia Jax just lost, so they'll put her in.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Like you lose a regular match, so what? You didn't lose a title or nothing.
Right.
Let me jump in this Money in the Bank qualifier match, and maybe I'll be all the way up after that.
We'll
You know?
see.
Like,
I don't know, but don't want to get too deep into that. Even though I agree, Zelina being pushed is overrated, in my opinion. But moving on, we had a little quick video recap with DIY attacking Fraxium. Fraxium, I would say, has been a really great impact on SmackDown. I love them in NXT, even though, yes, they kept teasing about they possibly could be breaking up and everything. And since they've been making a debut on SmackDown, the crowd reaction has been on point. They get more reaction than Machine Gun, whatever those guys are called.
Motor City Machine Gun.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
They're pretty much just supposed to be the veterans in the tag team division, and they're kind of like, I mean, at least the tag team division is actually active, and it actually appears to exist.
I feel like
because for a long time they didn't do anything with the tag team division.
Well, SmackDown has more of a tag team, in my opinion.
Yeah, now
than Raw does. Yeah,
now
most definitely. They, I will admit, they have really been focusing on the men's tag team division versus the women. Really don't have one.
Yeah,
they're just forcing it on us.
Makeshift teams.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the ones that was a tag team got fired, released, whatever. But
it was like almost like basically out of all the people that got fired, it was like a total of 4 tag teams. Not everybody on each tag team, but like Gigi and Shotzi, right? They were with Tatum Paxley.
Right.
I forget what chemical something.
Yeah.
Chemical attraction, or
like
I don't know what they were called.
Just made that team.
Yeah. So they were they were like a trios or a tag team, whatever, on NXT. Then you had Jakar Jackson, who was a tag team partner of Lash Legend.
Yep.
They were kind of an established tag team. You know, they've been together for years. Okay. So that's 2 tag teams. Who else got released?
Isla Dawn got released.
Okay, Isla Dawn.
And Alba Fire.
So Alba Fire was her partner.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, that's 3 tag teams. And there was one more person. I guess Cora Jade, but that ain't even who I was thinking of. It was one more person. I just can't think of it. But it was like the equivalent of like 4 tag teams. So you basically destroyed your women's tag team division. Yeah.
But I actually liked the match with DIY versus Fraxium. You know, you got to keep a couple little growling octopus stretches for Axiom applying after he was doing a reversal and against Ciampa. You have Ciampa hit this sweet knee kick, high knee thing. And then, of course, you know, Johnny wrestling. He did a couple decent moves and everything. You know, of course, I hate when they use super kick as the move at this point. That's really watering down Shawn Michaels' finisher, in my opinion. I don't know if he gave them approval to do it, but at this point, if you're not gonna make it a signature or a finisher, stop doing it during the match.
I don't even want to talk about the super kick. It used to be one of my favorite moves, finishers growing up, but now it's just transitional. It's the equivalent of a drop kick or a body slam at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Even a headlock takeover. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
so the super kick means nothing. And seeing the teams that were involved, you already knew you were gonna see like 8 super kicks in this match.
yeah.
Okay. But with that being said, the match was still good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you knew it was gonna be fast paced if you know anything about Fraxium.
Very fast
And
paced.
DIY, they held up their end. You know, they were doing some tactical stuff like where, you know, if the referee turned his back and stuff, like they would do different things like pull the ropes down when they go for a springboard, stuff like that. And they were doing good. They were getting heat, whatever. And you know, ultimately, the right team won.
Yeah.
Fraxium. I mean, it was a good match. I honestly, like, I didn't care at all for DIY whenever they first made a tag team and, you know, like on the
Reunited
main
themselves.
roster.
Yeah.
But now I can appreciate them. Do I actually like want to see them as a tag team champion? Like, no.
No.
No, I
more.
don't.
I'm done with that.
I
Like,
mean,
put it up. Don't want even. I don't want to see Triple H put it. I know those are his boys, but don't you dare put the belts on him again. But what I also like, DIY is really helped shake up the tag team by going heel. You know, you had Fraxton, like you said, won the match, and then of course DIY was not happy about that, so they ended up attacking them. And as they was giving the Guido beatdown, we have the Motor City Machine Gun with no reaction from the crowd whatsoever.
you know what? Everything was great until they came out. Like
Yes. The
everything was
crowd was
just
away. They
cooking
was
until they
booing
came
and
out.
everything with DIY. They was, they was live
Yo,
through the whole match.
they came out. They were chasing DIY. You know, from the ring to the outside. They end up kind of trapping them over, and they do this thing where they hop out on the apron. One of the members of Motor City Machine Guns, and I think was it Johnny Gargano that was on the outside or Ciampa, one of them, and they basically turn around and one of the guys from Motor City Machine Guns runs up, kicks him in the chest or whatever, and then that was it. Like the crowd's like, okay, that was it. Like y'all ran out just to do that, and then of course raise the hands of Fraxium to celebrate their victory.
Yeah.
But it was like, did we really need that?
No.
That was literally their way of saying, hey, remember these guys?
Right. The crowd already knows who they are at this point. So, of course, now that we have Fraction 1, they ran into the Street Profits, and pretty much next week, not a pay-per-view, by the way, not a pay-per-view. The Street Profits and Fraction will be fighting for the WWE Tag Team Championships next week.
Are you excited?
Yes, because I know it's going to be a great match, but I hope, no offense, Fraction, they don't need to win it right now. Like, I have a feeling they're going to win it, and then Street Profits might just go right back to the hole, or they might make them turn officially heel to get it back in Money in the Bank. But who wants to keep seeing that? I feel like it's too soon for Fraction to go for the belt. They only won like 4 matches, my opinion. They need to at least put them in a storyline or something. It's like
Yeah, they're just trying to fast track them
Yeah.
until being like considered serious opponents, always kind of a threat. You know what I mean? Not to be taken lightly. And then of course they're supposed to be like that exciting tag team where they do a ton of high spots and you know just which they are fun to watch. Okay, but I feel like they're going to overexpose Fraxium.
Yeah.
Now I did like how when they were in the back and they were talking to the Street Profits after that whole, you know,
Yes,
after the
in the
match and
match.
everything. They see the Profits in the back. Profits come up and you know tell them, you know, hey, you guys got another won another match, blah blah blah.
Right.
and Montez Ford, he was like, ha 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 ha,
Right.
like it was so funny.
Yeah,
I feel like Montez Ford just completely killed this. Like this guy, his promo skills like underrated, underrated. Like his acting, promo skills. Like when I was really watching him cut that promo backstage, I was like, okay, now I really get Montez Ford. Like he's got a different type of charisma,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's like now. Like I definitely don't want Fraxium to beat the Street Profits.
No,
but I
like,
also
no.
want to see the Street Profits like in a real storyline. Like right now, it's just
Exactly.
basically who wants the
next
title
title,
shot. So like you
exactly.
guys compete and then let us know who wins. Like you know what I mean? That's not even a story. That's not a story. That's like AEW booking, or at least like what they're known for is just putting matches together for no reason. You know. And we don't need that in WWE, okay?
No.
So when it's all said and done, I want Street Profits to retain, and I also want a storyline. I don't care if all these matches and everything and the title shot is what thrusts us into a storyline with the Street Profits. Like, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a fair match. Like, somebody is going to get involved. And I mean, you would think Angela Dawkins is a visionary or or a prophet or like, you know, a fortune teller. Like this guy's like, yo, we'll see you guys next week and we'll be 100%.
So I mean, like I said, I'm looking
He's
forward
like,
to the match.
yo, are y'all gonna be able to see the same thing? Cause like, cause y'all got DIY gunning for you.
Exactly. That's why
Okay.
I hope I can see DIY like causing Fraxine the titles to just continue a decent feud with them. But I also agree that the Street Profits need to be in the storyline also because right now they're just fighting random, like not random, but just putting random matches for tag teams to go against their belt. And honestly, they have Triple H, whoever is the creator, needs to understand story matters. Okay. And why people love story is because when they come to wrestling, they want to know what it's like. You're like watching a show. You want to see what's going to happen next week, the next episode. Oh my gosh, the last thing I remember was this. Oh, I can't wait till next week to see what they're going to do to get back. Right now, it's like, okay, Braxton Street Profits talk. Oh, wow, they have a match next week. Okay. You know, nothing really. But what I'm looking forward is to, oh, they got a match next week? Now, is DIY going to interfere? What is up with the Motor City Machine Gun? Why they being so nice to Fraxine? Are they finally going to click and be like, you know what? We're tired of being nice, being looked over, and everything. It's time for us to look after ourselves. Are they going to join Johnny and whatever? But we'll see what happens next week. So hopefully something shakes up next week and not the same old, you know, just a match and okay, someone won.
What do we have next?
Moving on from that, we had a quick little segment with Wade Bear interviewing R-Truth. Now, if anyone watched Backlash you know, R-Truth basically helped John Cena retain his title. In press conference, R-Truth was trying to talk to John Cena, and John Cena AA him through the table. Now, of course, a lot of us who saw that already knew Triple H was going to do a match of John Cena versus R-Truth. So none of us were surprised about that. But what I actually like this segment because R-Truth was really enforcing a lot of John Cena's like catchphrases, such as everyone, you know, is pretty much against John Cena and R-Truth, even though he's older than him. It looks up to John Cena like his idol, talking about, well, remember John Cena said never give up. So he never wants to give up on John Cena being this bad guy, as everyone wants to call him.
Yo, my boy said when he was a child,
Right.
he used to look up to John Cena.
I said, Lord, this dude.
Yo, and everybody know R-Truth is older than
John
Cena.
Exactly.
Yo, how's he gonna look up to John Cena when he's a child? John Cena younger than him.
That is.
My boy say, loyalty
Right.
Respect.
And never give up. Yeah, the R-Truth is a character. To me, he's great in the promo, great in the ring. Yes, he watered down a lot, but he accomplished so much. It was like at this point, he's just there to wrestle.
My
collect
boy
the
is
check.
goated. All right.
Exactly. He's
but
good.
is this Saturday night main event worthy? Is this worthy of a pay-per-view? Because that's
Well-
basically what Saturday night is. It's like Saturday main event is like a TV special. It's pay-per-view type thing.
Let's be
mean-
honest. They're only doing this because, there's been talks that people want to know if John Cena is going to turn babyface before he leaves. Right?
I
And-
still think he is.
Of course. And my thing is, why not go this angle of, remember, in R-Truth interview, he said he's going to beat.
He say, look, even if I got to beat some sense into him."
Exactly. And then also in Backlash, when the crowd was saying, thank you, Cena, it was shown that he was a little emotional.
Right.
So it's like he regrets turning into this guy for everyone to hate instead of being the guy that everyone loved. Yes, you had a few boos and stuff, but you still was looked up as one of the GOATs, as people want to say. So that's why they're going this angle, because now you have R-Truth versus John Cena as Saturday night main event, which will be, like, honestly, who's looking for that main Saturday night? But it will be a really interesting match because if everyone remember, John Cena said, if you want some, come get some. So stop complaining why this match is happening. R-Truth wants some. He wants to beat some senses into John Cena. Let's see how this goes. R-Truth is great in the ring, so there's nothing really to complain about. Yes, it's a non-title match. That's the pointless part, but they're only going the angle of seeing John Cena turning babyface and possibly, hopefully, Cody turning heel, because it makes no sense of two baby faces going against each other. Sorry.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want this match to happen.
Of course.
I want it to happen because it's going to be entertaining.
It's going to be, exactly. That's
need
pretty much it.
they need some entertainment on the
Something.
show, okay? Because a lot of it is formulaic, and just like we predicted, the R-Truth John Cena match at Saturday night's main event, almost like verbatim, but it'll be entertaining. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a TV special. R-Truth is, I don't even want to say gold. He's diamond status when it comes to his comedic entertainment, storytelling, etc. Okay,
Mhm.
so he deserves it. I feel like they're finally kind of really giving R-Truth his roses. Like he
Yeah.
got that big moment at WrestleMania with the
Yeah,
Miz
with
and
the-
everything.
yep,
Like
yep.
yeah, it's like they kind of finding ways to put some respect on R-Truth, But
Mhm.
it should be a good match. It should be a squash match. But honestly, I would love to see R-Truth get some offense in, and like,
I'm pretty sure he will.
you know what I mean? And
But-
I hope they do what they used to do with Roman Reigns, like where you could hear him talking during the match and stuff like that. Like I would like to see John Cena, stay down, kid, stuff like that. Because it's like, this whole time,
Oh,
John Cena's
gosh.
clearly had like a soft spot for R-Truth, right?
Right.
And he knows R-Truth ain't all there, but R-Truth has a good heart and he means well. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And John, this whole dysfunctional relationship with the
Right,
audience and
right.
all that. And it's like, dude, can you really argue that R-Truth ever did anything wrong to you or deserves, any of this disrespect and whatnot? Did he really deserve to go through a table at the press conference?
Well, he helped you retain your title, by the way. Just
Yeah,
saying.
but he said he overstepped.
Nah, he ain't overstep. He protected you. 'Cause
Exactly.
Randy Orton was about to punt kick him to retirement.
Yep.
So moving on from that, we had another segment where Damian Priest cutting a promo. So I actually like Damian Priest is great with video packaging
The
promos,
video stuff, yes.
but in front of the crowd, no. So you basically get Damian Priest talking about how he feels stuck in the cycle with Drew McIntyre.
and the Drew McIntyre vortex.
Exactly. His petty, vindictive, childish ways and stuff, how they always get in each other's business. Honestly, I thought they was done with them since WrestleMania 41.
We all thought they were done.
Oh my goodness. So now they added another match for Saturday night main event with Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a steel cage match. Petty, by the way.
I mean, AEW just did a cage match in Chicago on
Right.
the last episode of Dynamite for the
Coinkydink.
World Championship between Jon Moxley and Samoa Joe. We know how that turned out.
Yeah, same old, same. We're tired of seeing Jon Moxley with the belt. That's plain and simple. But I mean, honestly, with these two guys, it was not a Damian Priest big fan, but I'm pretty sure this match is going to be great and everything. And I hope Drew McIntyre comes on top and then he pushes his ticket and become an undisputed champion or whatever champion, because you know the draft is coming up. Because I'm tired of seeing Drew in these pointless behind storylines. He deserves better.
Honestly, I would like Drew to be back on Raw.
Oh,
I just feel
yes,
like
most
that's the right
definitely.
place for Drew.
Yeah, because
I would like LA Knight to go to Raw as well.
yeah,
Honestly, get away from this United States Championship mess.
yeah,
just-
because
Like Raw could use, two like Drew and LA Knight. I don't know who else you would change in a draft or whatever, but like LA Knight or Drew McIntyre needs to get away from Damian Priest.
yes,
So hopefully, just like WrestleMania, we were hoping that was gonna be it, because it was just a thrown together storyline.
exactly.
Now they made it make sense as far as like, okay, he has been there to kind of like ruin whatever Drew McIntyre had going on at the time, right? So that made sense. He was like a thorn in his side, right? He was like what you call it, like where it's like a loose end. So he had to go ahead and take care of that, which he did at WrestleMania.
And I thought it was them, but like I said, Drew needs to come on top because all last year Drew was taking L. So it's like, can we finally get Drew into like the main event status? Sorry, and start like making some dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Because no offense to Damian Priest, he don't need to win. Drew needs to win. So don't want to get too stuck on that. We have our third match: Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes.
How do we feel about this match? What?
I like it. I like this
Well,
match.
first, hold
I
up.
like
Before
how
we got to the
Carmelo
match.
Hayes cut a decent promo.
Yeah, I was gonna say before
Yes.
we even got to the match, you got Carmelo Hayes and the Miz in the back, probably in gorilla position.
Right.
Getting like they're cutting a promo before he comes out. Look, Carmelo cut a nice little promo.
He basically reminds us why he is him.
Yeah.
He is $1 million superstar, whatever he wants to call himself and everything. Carmelo Hayes is great. He was great at NXT. He was, I don't want to say he was the number one draft pick for SmackDown because they really haven't been pushing him like that. I was really happy when he won the Andre the Giant. I do like this a little comparison with him and the Miz, even though I can't wait for Trick Williams to come up so he can part himself with the Miz, however they want to do it. But I like this match for Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes with the Miz. You know, you have Miz trying to mentor Carmelo Hayes and trying to tell him to hit his his finisher on Aleister Black, which honestly it was slowly looking like Carmelo Hayes is getting frustrated with the Miz and everything. And of course the Miz is like over it. So of course he interfered, which caused Carmelo Hayes the disqualification. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I like this match. It protects both wrestlers because I am a huge Carmelo Hayes fan. I like Aleister Black too. But since Carmelo Hayes has been on SmackDown, he hasn't really got a lot of wins. He hasn't really got the proper push. And I am like over it. Like right now we got Jacob as the champ. But as soon as Jake lose that belt, it's time for Carmelo Hayes to shine to SmackDown or Raw. Hopefully, if they do the draft, he goes to Raw because, like I said, he deserves better.
Yeah, I thought the match was good. Clearly they were trying to protect Aleister Black because of the ending of the match.
Right.
And for the most part, it was a 50-50 match where both wrestlers look good. They both hit a lot of their signature moves, etc. I mean, it was a good match. it was kind of predictable, like what would happen, because it's like, okay, they're not gonna have him beat Carmelo 2 times in a row, because like, how much do you want to piss off Carmelo's fans? You know what I mean? And then
Mm-hmm.
Aleister Black isn't exactly lighting it up. Like he's not really getting the reactions that he would like.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
I mean, he's getting better than his wife, but yeah, I got you.
it's not saying much.
Yep.
Doesn't take much either, Zelina Vega.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if they're just gonna have like Carmelo feud with Aleister Black, or if they're gonna have Carmelo basically kick Miz to the curve and they get some kind of match or something out of it. Like, I don't know what they plan on doing, but it's like, I do like that they let Carmelo Hayes shine in this match and really
Mm-hmm.
show like what he could do. Like, I like how he cut that promo, came out to the ring. You could just see the confidence.
Milo don't miss.
You could see like how much of a star he could be. Like, I
Right.
mean, he's got the it factor and everything. I mean, he be on them Snickers commercials for a
Right.
reason, you know. But I don't know. It all takes creative to be able to figure out how to use them. And it don't take a genius to figure out how to use Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, hopefully creative does wake up. But of course, after this qualification, the Miz attacked Aleister Black and everything. And then you have Aleister Black hit the Miz with his what's called the Black Mass.
Yeah.
And then when he wasn't looking, you get Carmelo Hayes get his lick in and get the last word. Hitting him with his finisher from the top rope and everything. And I like that ending. Like it really made Carmelo Hayes stand out. It gave him the heat that he needs to, the crowd's already like starting to get more familiar with him and everything. And it also made Carmelo Hayes look strong too, because you don't want Aleister Black, since he signed, start dominating these two and looking unstoppable, because it starts getting boring. And that's probably that brings me back to why I like Jacob Fatu, but at the same time, he's starting to become boring because they're making it look too unstoppable. And that gets boring.
Yeah. All right. So what was after
We got a little
all of
quick
that?
promo from Drew McIntyre pretty much answering Damian Priest that he accepted a steel cage match. Don't want to get too deep into it,
I
but
mean, that was like real quick.
exactly, like I don't even know why they made Drew came out for that. He could have did a backstage interview and said, "Priest, you are on. Like, I will see you next Saturday at the main event. We don't need you to come out for that."
They say, "Hey, bruh, can you get a crowd a reason to get loud again, please?"
Yeah, because I was like, I'm thinking he was going to wrestle because he came out with his little wrestling gear and everything.
Right.
But no, it was just to say, yeah, accept, and how Damian Priest is obsessed with him and everything. But I feel like that should have just been a backstage interview, in my opinion. It didn't need to be out there and everything.
No, not really.
Nah, moving on.
Yeah.
So now we have the fourth match, which is a men's Money in the Bank qualifier match. We have Solo Sikoa versus Ray Phoenix versus Jimmy Uso. Ugh, I wish I get that Jay is the world champion right now, but it's time for Jimmy to start getting some dubs in. And not just dubs, like get him to the road to winning a belt. It doesn't have to be the main belt, but it could be a mid-card belt, because in my opinion, Jimmy was always better than Jay, in my opinion. Like Jay is decent all, but like I said, you take away the music, who is Jay? Because he's not good in the ring, he's not good on the mic. He's just a hype man. With Jimmy, he's great in the mic, he's great in the ring. Yes, he put on a couple weight, but I always liked Jimmy Uso. Unfortunately, they haven't really been giving him the push that he deserved and everything. But I like the match with Solo Sikoa, Ray Phoenix, and Jimmy Uso. They had some great offense, great defense. You see Jimmy, like again, he hit this spear. It wasn't the best, but the more that he still hit it, it will get better. Then you have Solo, Solo and Jimmy having a little exchange of things, to the point that Solo hit Jimmy with the Samoan Spike. Because I thought Jimmy was going to win this thing because, he reversed like Ray Phoenix finisher and whatever. But you get Solo Sikoa, which was honestly a very surprising thing to me, because I thought they were going to make Ray Phoenix win. Qualified.
Yeah, I like the fact that Solo's getting a little shine. I mean,
Finally.
he honestly carried that opening segment, but like between him and Jacob Fatu, because they let him talk on the mic a lot. I mean, he
A
did a lot of
lot.
like, but he made it entertaining. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was just like, okay, so we starting on SmackDown like
Oh
this.
yeah, it was a
You
great
know what I
start.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I like that. So it kind of was predictable that he was gonna win the match because it's not like Ray Phoenix is really doing a whole lot of talking except to like who's he talking to backstage? Andrade
Andrade for thanking him for helping him last week. Ray
and
Phoenix, honestly, I feel like his crowd reaction has went down by a lot. They play his music and like barely. It's like he got the Zelina Vega treatment,
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he doesn't have that same charisma
like
like
Penta.
Penta.
Yeah,
You
no, most
know,
definitely not. Because when he first debuted, the crowd was great, but now it's like okay, whatever. Because he really, like you said, not that good. With language barrier and stuff on the mic and stuff. So it's like he's just here at this point. But I mean, like I said, we shockingly have Solo Sokoa qualified, so we're about to see how that goes. Don't think he's gonna win the. I wish he would, but I don't think he's winning the briefcase.
well,
We know he's not winning the briefcase. Let's
well,
just.
if I mean, he's got Jeff Cobb behind JC Mateo, he's got Jacob Fatu somewhat. I mean, he's got people to help him do it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, don't count that out.
But
And who else is okay? So Solo qualified. We haven't had another men's qualifier yet, have we?
no, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so we just have to see who else is gonna be in it,
Exactly.
and from there it'll become more predictable
Phew.
once we see who else is in it. So I don't know. Like I'm interested to see like what Solo's next evolution gonna be. Like he played tribal leader for a little while, and it seems like he's got something else up his sleeve, and we're kind of slowly seeing it develop. Obviously, he's got an issue with Jacob Fatu. Otherwise, he wouldn't have brought up that you used to say you love me,
Yeah,
right? And he used to
exactly.
say it like with some enthusiasm. I love you, Solo.
Well, now it's I love you so.
Yeah, I love you, Solo. All right.
But moving on from that segment, we have our next match: LA Knight versus JC Mateo with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. It was a good match, but it was messed up. You
Hold
have
up, who fought?
JC
LA Knight and JC Mateo. Okay, yeah. Ugh.
JC Mateo debut was trash. They could have done better. No rain gear, just a tank top and some jeans, and then dude don't even have his own music yet. It's like he really is a free agent at this point.
My boy say, I come in, no rain gear with it.
Right.
I win a match, ain't got my own music with
Play
it.
solo music.
Hit my tribal chiefs music.
Exactly.
Yada I mean. Ain't even got my own catchphrase. Got to borrow Jacob's. Cause I'm all gas with. No.
Yeah. Like,
Yo, I don't know, man. I'm so curious to see what they're gonna do next with JC Mateo. They already done changed his name. Like they ain't call him Jeff Cobb like 50 times when he showed up at what was it, Backlash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they saying it's Jeff Cobb. That's Jeff Cobb. That's
but I
Jeff
like
Cobb.
JC Mateo. It's short. It's quick. I mean, it's like
I guess they try to make it sound more like you got like Solo Sikoa, you got Jacob Fatu, Tongaloa, JC Mateo. It kind of fits.
Yeah. So I like it. You have JC Mateo actually winning the pinfall. I like his little finisher. It looks a little dizzy.
The
but
Tour of the Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't look devastating though. Like he hits that on Jacob Fatu or somebody like Roman Reigns or whatever. It's like, okay, it's basically like a reverse power slam or something.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people have won with a power slam?
Not
I
too
mean,
many, but
Braun
yeah.
Strowman and the British Bulldog.
Right.
Like, And Braun hasn't won with that thing in a long time. In
Mm-mm.
fact, Braun got released.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, which is crazy.
yeah.
But after that match, we have this is a little quick little segment where Santo Escobar basically they can't find sorry, what's how you say it? Angel's
Berto?
Berto.
Yeah.
So Angel was letting him know that he can't find Berto. Like,
A nothing segment.
yeah, like, okay, like we get it. Berto is pretty much mad at Santo Escobar. Angel is that for a leader, but I feel like Santo Escobar is trying to add a little drama between the cousins. The way how he was like, I can always count on you, Angel. You always been the loyal one. A bunch of same old stuff. But moving on, we had another segment with Shinsuke Nakamura. This is about the next week men's qualifier match. So he said he's not afraid of Aleister Black. I thought they was gonna make it a feud, but Aleister Black so far still part of the Miz feud. And then he also gonna be fighting LA Knight again for the qualifier match. Now, how LA Knight got into the qualifier match, he just lost to JC Mateo.
Because he said, LA Knight, you haven't changed.
No,
You're still the same man you were when you fought me for the U.S. title. And I see what's behind the chat. A hunger
Yeah.
for recognition.
So moving
He
to
say a
that.
bunch of nothing.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But I just found it interesting that LA Knight is able to do the Money in the Bank qualifier match when he just lost again to JC Mateo.
Hey, at least they're putting people that we care about in it, right?
Right.
Unlike the women, but it is what it is.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, Aleister Black can win, but then you have the whole Miz storylines, which can interfere and cause him cause him to qualify. Then you have LA Knight has to do it. So it's most likely Shinsuke might be winning this because the other two has way too much going on right now.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I don't even care about whatever going on between all of them. Like, they've dropped the ball on Shinsuke so much to where it's like, why am I supposed to care?
Exactly.
And I like the look of his character. I like the entrance and all that, right? I like the vignettes that he be cutting, etc. I might have made fun of what he was saying, but like it's unique to him, right? Like not everybody's doing that, and we need characters like that, right? But the thing is, they don't know what to do with him.
No.
So they always start. Yeah. Like with a character like that, Vince, like with the way they're presenting Shinsuke right now, Vince would have knew how to really make that a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we just got to wait till the Wyatt Six come back to figure out how to use like some creepy people or whatever. Like, man, Shinsuke, I feel like he finally tapped into like a really good character, and it's just being wasted.
Exactly. And speaking of wasted, why we got Jade Cargill talking to Tiffany Stratton for a title shot again?
I don't know. I guess she just reminded her, hey, I'm still here, and I will be up next.
But what was funny about the segment, I love how Naomi was in the background.
Yeah.
And
This was
she's
the second time.
Yeah, and she's slowly turning like you just think you just get a title shot. What I don't like is what happens after during the main event. So we have our main event, Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the WWE World Championship. This match, I would say, was a little better than WrestleMania 41 for Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
But
this was much better than that match between her
way
and Charlotte.
too many scary botches. in my
So
opinion.
many botches.
Oh my gosh.
So many botches.
The turnbuckle.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Yo,
know.
just the finish of the match. I was like, was that supposed to happen?
Yes,
Like-
Nia Jax got her head busted open,
Oh my
ladies and gentlemen. And it's to the point we thought she had a concussion. But
So among one of the many botches, right? The part that you're talking about is
when Nia Jax pretty much was trying to attack Tiffany Stratton with the chair.
with the chair.
And I believe Tiffany Stratton hit a drop kick or something.
Yes, she hit a
And-
stiff drop kick. It was a
Yes.
shotgun drop kick
Then
to the
which-
face. Well, it was, she kicked the chair. The chair was
Mhm.
already really close to Nia Jax's face,
And yeah.
which was the problem. So she just laid it in, and immediately we start seeing Nia Jax bleed.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
it,
the end of the match right there. But during the match, you had Naomi coming out of the chair. That's how the chair thing came about because Naomi came out with the chair talking her little trash to Tiffany Stratton. You
yeah.
know, like how they're trying to like overlook her and everything.
And then what happens next?
You have the good old
Immediately.
Storm, Jade Cargill trying to save the day. And I hate how Jade Cargill been dominating Naomi. Why make Naomi change her character to just proceed with caution and Jade is dominating Naomi? Naomi is way better in the ring than Jade. The whole point is to get the crowd over with Jade. But right now, y'all about to get the crowd over with Naomi and she keeps taking these goddamn L's.
It all comes back to the booking. I mean, if you think about it, when Naomi came out towards the end of this match, you know, she was getting heat. The crowd was, you know, like Naomi is money.
Yeah.
Okay. But you kind of kill it by sending Jade out there like not even a whole minute after Naomi came out. Like, and then I guess we're really trying to establish that Naomi is a chicken heel. You know what I mean? Like she's
Right.
gonna cower away, run through the run through the audience and just to avoid Jade. But you telling people proceed with caution. You know what I mean? Like it'd be one thing if they were letting her attack people in the back still,
Mm-hmm.
backstage, whatever, in the ring when somebody's on their way to the ring. That I would love for her to do stuff like that. Proceed with caution. You come out, you looking around like, dang, I hope Naomi ain't here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have people on edge, looking over their shoulder, thinking twice when they walk into a room and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
Like,
why
we
I'm
need
not a
Naomi
big
more
fan.
like that. Like, it's not hard to book a character like Naomi. You just got to build it up to
I'm not a big
that.
fan about Jade keep beating Naomi. Like WrestleMania 41, Naomi should have won. Why we have Jade winning? Like, what are we doing here? You can't have her change this whole character, push Jade onto the car just to keep taking L's. At this point, it's like, are y'all finally gonna make Bianca heel after all? Because you know, once Bianca goes heel, Jade ain't gonna be beating her like that.
You know, if Jade won only for her to get the WrestleMania moment, etc., right?
Most likely.
And then turn around and have Naomi beat her next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got the 50-50 booking special going on
But
right
I feel
there.
like they're prolonging their storyline because you know Bianca's gonna get involved.
Well, we hope Bianca's going to get involved because a lot of things that would have made sense hasn't exactly come to fruition with booking and different scenarios, different feuds and whatnot. It's like certain things that just would make sense, they're not doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just as plain as day as like Naomi's character, like I was talking about. There's things that you can do to really emphasize the whole proceed with caution. I mean, that's literally her catchphrase now, right? So like, why would they proceed with caution when, okay, you attacked Jade like months ago, last year, right? What else have you really done since then?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not liking this. So hopefully when Bianca comes back or whatever, before Bianca comes back, that Naomi start getting a couple like over Jade and start making Jade look way too overpowerful. Because to me, yes, she's built. Yes, she has the look. Yes, she has all that fancy stuff. But when it comes down to it, my opinion, Naomi's better in her ring. And Naomi has been cooking. I love this new character, Proceed with Caution. I don't like how they're booking her with her new character. They're making her look like she's weak. This coward heel. How are they going to have her say proceed with caution, but she's the one that needs to proceed with caution?
She's the one always running away.
Exactly.
Yeah, or getting beat up.
I hope Nia Jax, after the little chair shot, that she's doing okay. I did like how obviously Tiffany Stratton has the pretty moonsault. I will give her that for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that moonsault looked so good when she hit it. Cause it sometimes it looked like she ain't gonna make it.
Right, but
and
she
then it'd be like
make it.
money. Like, so I don't know. The match was okay. It was entertaining because it had a lot of jump scares from those botches.
Oh my
Like I'm thinking
God, a
like
lot
somebody's
of
gonna
them.
land right on their head.
Yes.
I thought Nia squashed her for real whenever they were doing that. It was like a power bomb or
Yeah,
something she was
yes,
trying to do.
yes,
I guess she
yes.
was trying to be Jade. But yeah, and then like only for Nia to completely fall on top of her, and I don't know, man. It was look. I would go. I would recommend go back, watch the match. If you like scary moments in wrestling matches, if you like botches, and a halfway decent wrestled match, like check it out because you
Exactly.
won't be disappointed. Yo,
But I don't know. Like overall, I will say SmackDown was actually pretty decent. It actually had potential storylines, or they had a lot of great matches for once. It didn't feel like a drag. I didn't fall asleep or anything. We didn't have to see no like unbelievable matches like Selena Vega, for example. We had a lot of great decent build. I love the heat from Carmelo Hayes. They finally making him look strong again. Again, like I said, I'm not big on how they're booking Naomi for right now. Hopefully next week it gets better and everything. Now that they're going into the Money in the Bank thingy, maybe she might win that. Who knows? But you see, they're having a little teaser of Alexa Bliss trying to team up with Charlotte Flair because all of a sudden, and mind you, they did feud, but all of a sudden Alexa Bliss came out of her coma saying how Charlotte Flair was there for NXT. Who cares? That was 10 years ago. No one's asking about it. I don't blame Charlotte Flair for forgetting. No one cares. But other than that, SmackDown was good.
yeah, I would say SmackDown was entertaining.
Yeah.
I still prefer AEW this week over SmackDown, but SmackDown was definitely entertaining this week.
Okay.
Just because of some of the stuff that they still do with their booking, like the stuff that just doesn't make sense. That's why I still would, for this week, Dynamite was better than SmackDown, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people are trashing SmackDown, saying that, like, this was the worst episode
Nah,
ever
last
and
week
stuff
was the
like
worst
that. It was like, yo,
episode.
did y'all miss last week?
Yeah, that
Like,
was.
like,
Jesus.
did y'all miss, like, all of last month? Like, I mean,
Besides the TLC match, but yeah, it was
exactly.
like,
Like, the TLC match has been, like, the best thing on SmackDown in, like,
forever.
a few years.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
yeah. But other than that concludes my SmackDown review.
yeah, I got nothing else to say about that. I just hope that next week we
We have a
Saturday
few matches.
night's main event
Yeah.
is gonna I hope that it's better than the first two that they've had
Well,
since
so
they
far
brought
they
it
only
back.
got 4 matches. You had the steel cage, you had the tag team CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. You had John Cena versus R-Truth.
I actually think that'll be good. I think the steel cage match will be good. What's the fourth match?
No, I don't remember.
Because you got all right, you got. Is there a tag team match?
Yeah, that's the one.
The
CM
Street
Punk.
or
No.
okay, that one.
CM
Don't care.
Uh,
Don't care. I'm pretty sure Sami Zayn's gonna turn on CM Punk.
I've been hearing about that as a rumor. Sami Zayn going heel. Like, did Karrion Cross finally got to Sami Zayn?
Well, we know Sami Zayn is like he tends to be pushed like Kevin Owens and Cody. Like he's one of them, where it's like okay, he's really a mid carder, but they're trying to push him like he's a main eventer. So he'll definitely do something because like for him to be in this story, like it kind of doesn't even make any sense in the first place. But with that being said, of course he's gonna be the one to turn.
So you
Like,
believe
why else would he? Okay,
Sami Zayn's gonna turn next
the simple
Saturday.
fact that when they had that little locker room segment where he and CM Punk was talking to each other, and he was like, I have a hard time trusting people, and da 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 da. He was like, but we were in that Survivor Series match or War Games, right? And then he was like, and look what happened. It worked. We won, right? And he's like, we're just going to have to trust each other and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why you talking about all that, though?
I don't know. I don't
What are you
really-
planning on doing?
I
Why are you trying to
mean-
get him let his guard down?
If Sammy turned heel, that would be great. It would be a nice refresher for him. But I feel like they're just gonna bring someone else, probably for NXT or anything, moving up to join Seth Rollins' faction.
Nah. I mean, who from NXT?
I can't even think about
Nobody.
that right now.
I don't think that's even a no. I don't think that's happening at all. We already got JC Mateo that came in, so we know it ain't him. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Sammy.
Well, let's see next week because we are going to be doing a watch along for Saturday Night Main Event. So far, what's on the cards? We have the World Championship, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul.
I would have
Logan
loved
Paul.
for it to be Logan Paul, but
right,
nah,
but
and
that's
that
not
ain't
happening. Then they just added a steel cage match with Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Then we had John Cena versus R-Truth. And then we had the tag team match we were just talking about, CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Those are the cards right now. 4 matches.
Well, so far, 3 matches that I actually do want to see. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, Jey Uso and Logan Paul is a match that I would like to see. Because I already know Logan Paul going to be
Yeah,
cooking in
Logan
that
Paul's
match.
going to put on a great
So,
show, but I don't really
I
care
just
for
wish
Jey, so.
we would have gotten more promos between the two leading up to
Yeah.
it. Okay, because Logan Paul knows how to get heat, even if some of it
I
is cheap
think-
heat or whatever. But like, look, he still knows how to talk on the mic. I
think that's the problem. I don't think they want Logan Paul to do too much talking on the mic because he will roast Jey Uso. Jey Uso is not good on the mic at all.
No, I'm gonna beat the YouTuber.
Right.
It's-
And then after that, Logan Paul, he be cooking. So you don't want the, challenger to look better than the champion because Logan Paul is really good at that.
well, you do if you actually want people to invest in the match, and then also if you want your champion to step up and reach another level, you got to do something like that. I mean, if you just throwing softballs at him, he's pretty much just going to be stagnant. He's going to stay exactly how he is. It's just
True.
going to be an entrance, 1 word, 4 letters,
Yeah.
like it's just going to be that, and that's going to get stale. It's going to get like that ain't lasting forever.
No.
Okay? It'll get stale, and then you'll move on to the next person that's got a little bit of heat, and
But we'll see what happens Monday night. Next week, Monday, actually. But other than that concludes our SmackDown review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And of course, we would love to hear from you guys to let us know what you think about SmackDown tonight. Do you feel like it was actually better? If you watched the main event, like, was it good? Was it Nia Jax's first match? Do you like it better than WrestleMania 41? How do you feel about the new bloodline with Solo and Jacob and now the new guy, JC Mateo? Other than that concludes.
yeah, that'll do it for this live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed SmackDown. I think this was one of their better shows.
We'll see what happens next week.
Hopefully they can keep the momentum. Hopefully they can get a little bit more creative with their stories. Look forward to seeing Saturday night's main event. And with that being said, this will conclude the live stream, but be on the lookout for our live stream for Monday Night Raw.
And our watch along for Saturday night main event.
Yeah. So with that
This
being
is good.
said,
Thank you for tuning in with the TWB, the Wrestling Bubble.